As we all know, and in the Coyote community, as we all know, that the oil pump is a very crucial thing. We picked up a stock oil pump. This is the brand new stock oil pump for it. This is for Generation 3 Coyote right here, as you see. These things come, you hear that thing in there? These things come with a pretty shitty little gear in here. If I'm not mistaken, it's made by fairy dust that is compressed in heat. And yeah, I think it's made from mulch and possibly glue. I'm not entirely sure, but they tend to fall apart. The oil pump, guys, everybody's talking about, like, this is the big fail point for a lot of these Coyotes. And it's really not that it's the pump, it's actually the gears inside the pump. This is a gear driven oil pump. We're gonna crack it open, and like I said earlier, that, you know, the gear in here is like, I guess is made with, you know, hopes and dreams. We're gonna go ahead and swap it out for our boundary gear, okay? And as you guys can see, Coyote Mustang, this is what it's for. It gives you instructions on how it's gonna be laid out. We get a, you know, a nice amount of lube here. And along with it, we get our spec sheet. Boom. What I did like about it, okay, that could be like blue ink, but that would looks like it's signed by somebody. No, that's blue ink, but it's pretty cool. They had me fooled for a little bit. It's a T30 Torx bit, and all we do is take all these off. I'm just kind of loosening them up real quick. Just kind of, it's already loose, so that's good. All right. Oops, still got a little bit to go on a couple of these, I guess. And there it is. And there you have it, folks. Your magical fairy dust gear. Let's see here. All right. There we go. This is a brand new, you guys saw this, out of the box, brand new. Alright? So it is said that if you drop this on the ground, it will shatter. They should shatter. That's how shitty they are. So that was like, they were saying it dropped, so. And I got camera. Here, he has the camera. So, not this one. Not this one, but this one came back, but yeah, that was to show you guys. Look at it. Here we go. One time. One time, and look at this. Look at that. Magical dust. Look at that. Look at all that glitter. That was point of impact right there. But and it's brand new? It's brand new, guys. It's a brand new pump. You know? So hey, I'm having the camera. And you know, Mano Negro's got the camera, so I mean, he just with one hand. Here's the other piece. And this right here is what happens inside your Coyote. I've seen these also break, but you can obviously tell exactly where it broke. Look at that. All the little, it's exactly where that's where all your weak points, look at that. You hit that RPM. Right there. When you hit that that high speed, bro, you're eating it. Or your car's eating it. Look exactly where it broke. Right where it thins out. Magical dust. Well, there you have it, folks. Truth be told, I was just gonna let it go down on its own willpower, but yeah, I mean, this thing just, you know, turned into almost soup. Well, guys, point proven. Now, go ahead and change those oil gear pumps. First things first, we're gonna coat this guy completely in our lube, and that's how you know you got great lube, when it's blue and high quality like so. I'm gonna put a little bit on there, and then we're gonna try and use a little more in here too as well on all these contact points. That's where we want to make sure we have our lube. All right, and up, bro. This is what you have to do. You don't want to end up like one of those catastrophic failures in the, you know, on the racetrack with your guts hanging out. Guts mean your oil pump. All right. And like I said, all right, cool. Now, there it is. Perfect. That's it. And that's what you want. Now, we'll just put the plate back on it. Good old Chicago. You can never get away from the sirens. You know? First. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. We had to pick up our MMR kit as well. Our bolts for our oil pump. Alright, and I'm gonna show you guys right now. There's two of a kind, and then there's two bolts, which, like I was telling you earlier, will serve as our chain guide, our dampener guide anchor. So, or dowel pin, I should say. So these are two. These are the two right here, and one there, and one here. Come on, here. Bam. Now, here are the two different ones. Now, I'm gonna, if I remember correctly, this is a 13 millimeter down here. So this goes here, and this is a 9 millimeter, and that guy will go here. This is again, this is one of the dowels for the dampener on your chain. So both of these are. So yeah, and like I said, I was saying earlier, there is a tightening sequence to these screws as well. You want to do a crisscross pattern, and then we'll go over that in a minute. All right. This is the Up4 Performance website. This is their torque sequence. Now this is to installation, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just gonna go in reverse. I'm gonna do that to both heads. There is a sequence to the torque sequence. Everybody knows. You go to the book, you get your torque sequence, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. It's just so the head sits down properly. I'm gonna take it off in reverse. So I know it's 10, 9, 8, 7, and I'm going to go all the way in reverse until I take the head off. I'm going to do that to both sides. We're going to check out for some dowel pins, and if they're not there, we're going to install them. If they're there, well, you just got to see this, you know, for nothing. These two left. And number one. Here we go. Perfect. Now we remove them. Opposite of the sequence, because like I said, it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm just going in reverse. It's just something that, you know, when I take apart the older cars, it's the same way we did. We just went in reverse of the original sequence that we started. We tightened it down to. Let me see here. So there it is. I'm trying to take these off and installing them. I'm going to clean these off again. We're going to use an adhesive. We're going to use some brake clean, because in the instructions it tells you got to keep this area nice and clean. As you can see, it imprints it down there. So it's just what helps it from walking out. So we're going to go ahead and remove these. Try and keep them in order. I'm going to take these guys off now. We are on the passenger side head, which would be your right right hand side. Take this guy off. Alright. I'm gonna leave him. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna do, right before I install the heads again, I'm gonna do the back main seal to it, install that, and then we're gonna sit it on the stand. It'll make it a little easier for me to get everything done, because what we're gonna end up doing, we're gonna put the heads back on it, and then we're gonna get to do some real work. So we got a long night ahead of us, boys. So it's 3, 4, 5. 6. Alright. Okay. Let me. Do you need? Damn it! You're not there. Ha! We're gonna put this one right here. Beautiful. I'm stupid, and I did not put it on the dowel pen. So, to my guy with the comment, thanks, bud. Yeah, this would have been probably catastrophic, knowing that we would have done all this work and, you know, only for some stupid dowel pens. You know, a lot of people will tell you, Sal, you could have just probably left it. And I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to agree, because I was that way. I was like, you know what, I'll just leave it. It's okay. It's a dowel pen. But you know what? The purpose of it basically is it's going to hold everything in its very, very best position. It's going to align everything for you. And one of the main instructions, or one of the main things that everybody says is like, hey, you know, are you sure you held that head on there perfectly correctly when you installed it? Because it was, you know, in the world of cars, we are dealing with thousands of an inch, you know, hundreds of thousands of an inch sometimes, and then sometimes that's too big. And so that's the reason we went ahead and just decided to tear this down, because we want to be for sure that, okay, we get it. We're not going to destroy this thing, you know what I mean? As you guys could see, we're also here to brag because they did a beautiful job in here with this car. You can see our Darton sleeves got put in there by our good friends over there at Auto Machine. This is the MAHLE performance gasket, as you guys can see. It hasn't been used, so obviously it looks nice and clean. We've got these on there, and so we're going to go ahead do the other side, and let's start putting our dowels in there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. All right. Ready. So we got them all out, and we're gonna put this guy right over here. And again, with our MAHLE setup, look at this, looking sexy, nice. All right, I'll put this bad boy up here, and like as you guys can see, I'm not gonna keep beating the dead horse. No guide pin, no guide pin, no guide pin, no guide pin. So we picked up our dowel kit set. All right, now we got this from LMR. It's a nice little dowel kit set for about $39.99 plus tax. Comes out to about $1,000. Well, here in Chicago. I was just playing. $39.99 plus tax, shipping and handling, all the fees and stuff. Chase Safe Children and whatnot. This is the part number. Michael 6010, Michael 50, X-ray. That's the dowel pin. That's the part number from LMR. You will find it. When you get the pretty little box, there are no markings. It doesn't tell you that number on there, but you get this fancy card here. You see that? That's pretty awesome. Typically, in the back, it has that. Nice, beautiful QR code. It's awesome, because that, to me, would have told me that if I scan this, I get pretty much a printout of where this is. Not that I need it. I wanted to show it in the video so everybody could see it. But it doesn't. It actually, you know, well, why don't I just show you guys? So, you know, again, I'm maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just being simple, maybe, I don't know anymore, because I can't tell you that I do know anything. So we're gonna go on camera here, and it's gonna pick it up right there. Bam, now it's gonna shoot me over to instruction sheets. You know?
What is
and so if you guys could see, let me see here. How do you do that? No. Alright, well, there's 17 pages, and I'll do the desktop side. There it is.
Yeah, they can see it.
Well, we're gonna zoom out. We're going to go to page 5. Alright, we're in page 5. Alright. All of these are descriptions to manuals and stuff. It's Mustang aluminum pedal kit automatic transmission right there. I don't need that manual. I needed this manual for the M6010M50X. Well, as you start going, the more you go further down the pages, it changes to M4. If you're in the front of the pages at 1, you're at M140204, whatever. And then you go to the furthest pages, and the numbers go down. Now you're MF, and whatnot. We went through this page, all right? This freaking number is not in this page. Now, does everybody need to know where these are? I'm pretty sure we all know where they're going to go. But you know what? There's a lot of people who are just novice, and people who are already getting started. And I know there's some people that follow this channel, and I get the messages. They're like, hey man, thanks a lot. You gave me enough hope to start my car. Well, when there's something like this, and you guys get this, and you order for this stuff, and you're the guy doing this, it's very disheartening when you're like, damn dude, what the hell? Now I got to go do more work for you guys. Not only did I get ripped off probably on these parts, whatever, but now I got to do more work on top of the work of just waiting for it. So for those, I guess you get what you pay for, right? I don't know what it was worth, $40. Anyways, my rant's over. Let's get going. All right, as you guys can see here, we have our 2 timing dowel pins. We have our timing cover pins. We have our head pins right here, our head dowels, and we have 2 transmission dowels. I don't remember what these 2 are for, these 4 little caps, but I'll figure it out as I go along, because I don't think I have those. I think I've seen these on Reckless before. Any which way, this is what we're going to do. This is what the kit comes with. So we're going to go ahead and start installing these, and then get the heads back on here, and get to some real work. Yeah, we're going to squeeze these guys in a little bit. Drop it in there. I'm just going to drop this guy in there over here too. The sequence for APR, you don't torque them in. You just put it in there by hand, and what I did, I just went in there by hand like this, and then just kind of gave it just a little snug like that with the torque. So it's enough, But other than that, you don't torque these down per APR, per their instructions. And there's a 3-step stage that you do it in. So we're gonna go ahead and do that as well as a coordinates to what they gave us. There you go. It's in. Basically, that's all you do. So, and before I put the head on, I'm going to take off all this lube that's on here. I'm going to clean the head up real good, because it does say to keep everything on the head before you torque it down to be extremely clean. So I'm going to follow those steps again as we go through this, guys. Again, I'm just using it for a little bit of extra leverage. That's it. Nothing more, man. That's it. Back in it goes. Alright. Perfect. 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 Alright. Clean them off. off of here because I still have some more of that the APR lube that they send you with. So we'll go ahead and reuse that. I'm just gonna clean this off. And there. Let's do this other side. That's it. There we go. Don't fight me, dude. Just go in. And again, I'm not torquing these down. I'm just giving them a little fastening at the end of it. Like I said, APR does tell you not to tighten these or torque these down with any kind of foot pounds or nothing. So, as you can see, they're a little loose. But that's the purpose of the washer, why it has those grooves in it, and why it really digs into the head. So it keeps these from walking. Perfect. I'm actually going to set I'm going to set my crank to the 9 o'clock position, where it says
What it did there.
for most of the
You see?
yeah,
So it just.
yeah, it catches it,
Yeah.
so it doesn't walk. Yeah, see, and actually this is, I'll show you on the next one, guys, what we're talking about, what they told us, and then what I'm talking about as far as these dowel pins go. You could see that I'll show you on the next gasket. Can you give me the cleaner?
The brake cleaner?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do my rear main seal to this guy, and then we're also gonna do the upgrade to our oil pump in the front right before we put on the heads, because then we're gonna slap them on the engine mount. Then we're gonna put on the heads. So we're gonna talk about our rear main oil seal. All right, and this is the rear main oil seal housing. As you guys can see, we got this from MMR. A lot of the good stuff that's coming out, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, and we're, you know, as you guys are starting to build your engines, you're starting to see like these companies, and they're making some amazing stuff. There's a reason that it's done this way, and there's a reason that it costs this much. We'll go to that later in the day because we have numbers to add here, guys. So, you know, anyways, we'll go to how much that cost. Yeah, this particular housing is from MMR, as you guys could see, and I'm going to give you just so you guys can compare. As a matter of fact, first let me cut it open so we can get our hands on it. You know that we're going to be putting some nice horsepower on this, but man, look at that. That's a thing of beauty right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Made in USA?
It's made in the USA, buddy. But let's go over it real quick, and as you guys can see, check this out. Now, I'm going to show you the difference. This is actually billet, CNC'd, and it's beautiful. And the reason that it's made, this is to, not only is it stylish and looks beautiful and everything, but there's a purpose for this. This thing is going to increase the stability at the back end of our oil pan housing and the back of the engine. It's going to give us a little bit more rigidity. And just to give you a little bit of a comparison, this is the original one that comes on most of these cars. All right, now, can you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Can you tell the difference? You see where all of this is hollowed out here, this guy's completely filled. So if we could go to the back of the block, you'll see that we have these kind of cavities in here, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and reinforce it. We have the new seal. MMR does send you the new seal, and the new little band right here. So I'm going to go ahead and install that, install the seal in, and then pop this guy in there. We also did pick up the MMR bolts to go with it. These are also ARP studs. I told you we got a little thing going on here, us and ARP. We got a little thing going on. As you guys can see, and like I was talking about earlier with the head studs and everything, and these are rated for 2000 PSI. I think so, yeah. So we're gonna definitely need them. It's just gonna complement our extra beefy backing plate here, as you guys can see.
So why don't you want to use like 4 screw one-time use stuff
So,
for you?
it's a great question, Mano Negra. It's a great question. I will tell you why. You know, if you look up the torque to yield screws, as far as what they say, if you go to your AI chat, it'll tell you that the reason that they use is because the torque to yield screws are much cheaper. Who'd have figured? The problem, you know, as you guys know, torque to yield is only single use, and this is as expensive as these studs are. I'm gonna tell you something. Those torque to yield ain't any cheaper. All right, and again, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. So bear with me, guys. So this is what we got right now. We're also gonna drop in our 2 dowel pins that go in here. We got our dowel pin set up right here. We got for our timing cover, our oil cover, our trans are right here for our transmission, and our timing pins. Now, for the timing, when we got the block already had these in, so we're not using these. No, I'm just kidding. We're not using these. And as we know, on the pump itself, we had to get a kit because they also have 2 dowel pins on this kit, on this pump. One right here and one right here. Those guys are for the guides. So we have to get a whole kit for this guy too. So let's get it done. Like I said, nothing really to it for this guy right here. And we're just gonna go ahead and turn him around. Open this guy up. Let's see. I got a knife here. Why am I using my teeth? Alright. Perfect. Let's move this guy around here. Like so.
Sorry.
Alright. I left a little overhang right here. So you can feel it's just getting snugged in there. It's no big deal. It's pretty cool. There it is. There it is. That's basically it. Bam. Now, me personally, for being me, I'm going to drop a real tiny bead of RTV all the way around it. Just because I'm paranoid and because just the way things are for us, it's going to leak. So I'm just going to do that myself. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's put these 2 dowel pins in the back here. Oh, it's going to be uncomfortable. So this is the problem of having humongous hands, but everybody that does cars, well, it's just a little, what they call occupational hazard. There it is. All right, little lube work. All right. Let's wipe it down. What you call my ribbon, my little rubber ring here. I know people say, "Oh, well, you're ruining it." Well, you know what? Who cares? You're not gonna see it. I'd rather be safe than sorry, guys. They go in a crisscross pattern and they get torqued down to about 89 inch-pound. Inch-pound, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds, guys. And we're using our APR studs here. Alright. Now, when I get it up on the engine stand, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off those little extra nubs of the rubber sealant I got in there. I'm just gonna snug it up, and then I'm gonna hit it with the torque right now. And like I said, these are by recommendation. They're 89 inch-pound. So we're gonna set our torque to that in a minute. Perfect. There it is. 89 inch-pounds. Perfect. There's a little bit of oil. You know, it just makes it a little easier. You know. So. Perfect. So what I'm going to do right now, man, I'm going to go ahead while I'm back here. I'm going to do my dowel pins that go here for the trans, man. And like I said, they gave you 2. And these are pretty girthy in comparison to the ones that we used up here. They have a little bit more girth into them. And not only that, they're a little longer. So let's pop these bad boys in. And there we go. We got those on. Now, we're going to move on to doing our oil pump. And once we do the oil pump, we're going to go ahead and put the block, we're going to put the back on, and we're going to mount it onto our oil engine stand. Then we're going to drop our heads. So, like I was saying, for our oil pump, let me turn it around this way. So we got the... my crane turning tool. And when we get to doing the timing setup, going through over a lot of them, we're going to start off at the 9 o'clock. Your keyway should be at the 9 o'clock position, doing the driver's side chain setup. Then you got to go into the 12 o'clock position to do the passenger side setup. So we're going to end up doing that too, so we're going to go through that step by step. But for right now, we're going to take this guy off. So we're just going to go ahead and, there it is, everything's on there. And you just want to finagle these guys to end up in here on the flat spots of that. So it'll be a little bit of a dancing. But and one of the things, other things that I initially thought, okay, there's got to be like a gasket here to mount in here. There isn't. It just mounts up there, and that's it. So, don't ask me questions, go to Ford. Let me see here. Bam. There it is. I got it right here. And like I said, these bolts here, they have a torque sequence, and we'll get to that in a minute. All right. There we go. Okay. Now I understand I'm getting a little binding. This is a brand new engine. This is a brand new block, you know. So I can see, like, you see a little bit of shavings that come off, as you guys were seeing earlier when I was removing the header bolts. I was getting some shavings coming out too. That's okay. All right. All right. That's there. That's there. Now Now, like I said, guys, to these screws, there's a tightening sequence. The first stage, the two 10mm bolts will get 89 inch-pounds. 89 inch-pounds. The 13mm stud will get 18 foot-pounds. You hear me, guys? 18 foot-pounds. And the 9mm will receive 177 inch-pounds. So stay on top of that, guys, and you know, just measure twice. Don't crack the head, don't crack the block, don't crack any of this. So just be very careful. So we're going to start off with our 210s. We're going to move into the 13, do our 18 inch-pound, and then we're going to hit this guy at the end with our 177. All right, same thing here. I'm going to go right around there. So if I'm doing from 90 to say there, so 75, I'm gonna go right around there. And this guy says 60, so I'm gonna do right here. Alright, so we'll figure it out. On the first one, let me see, so start there, start there, and I'm gonna end right there, and I'm gonna end right there. This one may be a little bit more down there. Alright. Let me see if I can give myself a little mark right here. And I'm just going to try and mimic that. That's good enough for me. Alright. Perfect for me. Alright. Now, let's do last but not least, our 13. Alright. Like I said, this is a 75. Bam, right there. All right, we got our 9mm here, our 9mm set up to 177. That's it. Here to 18 foot-pounds. That's it. 18 foot-pounds. Our boundary timing sprocket here. Now, obviously, there's the front. This is where your timing mark is at. You can see that. You want to, you can additionally actually add paint here. It'll make it a little easier. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put actually a nice big white stripe here, so I know it's going to make it easier for when I set up my chains, because you got to match them up. And when you do your final check down, believe me, as far as I've seen, it'll make it easier for you just to keep track of what you're doing here. All right. So the other thing is, this is really, 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 really tight. Okay. Do not beat on this thing, man. Do not sit here and beat on it on the crank. You might want to use something like a wood drift or anything like that. But yeah, take your time, because this keyway is extremely tight. It's like to the perfection and to the size. So yeah, I would not sit there and beat on it with a hammer. You're going to end up damaging this. You're going to end up damaging your crank, probably some other things too. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's really on there. So. And there we have it. So there we have our oil pump, our timing sprocket. We got our rear main seal on. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the brace to the back and mount this guy to the engine stand and slap the heads back on it. Let's do that.
Let me know what I can hold.
You know what these guys with these engine stands should do? They should sell you some some washers that are like cones, so they can go in here and kind of keep the screw centered. That'd be cool. I guess that's too much to ask though. Alright. I think if you want to grab this way, and then I'll put this guy right there so I could drop it in. And there it is. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you looking for that?
I got it.
Yeah, that
Just
hole.
bring it in.
Okay.
One of the main reasons, let me scoot it forward here, but let me get in the light. So one of the main reasons that the dowels work, we're going to see right now. So if you look at your valve cover, your head gasket here, oops, ripping up my shirt. If you look at your head gasket here, it's where everything goes. The dowels engage with these two little points here, and there's three. Well, there's two over there and three here. And then these 3 points right in here. There's where your dowels engage. Let's go ahead and put it on so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, alright. So, you can see right here, see, my gasket, it's not all the way down. Alright? So, we're going to go ahead and push it down. See that? And if you get the view right here, you could see where the gasket just scored the dowel pin right there. You know, there's a little score mark right there. So we're going to go ahead and do that to the other side as well. And again, you see the little scores right there. You see those two little teeth there, and bam. And that, my friends, is the reason that you need your dowel pins. I was stupid. And thank you for pointing that out, my friend. You know, maybe when you come to Chicago, we'll have a beer. So, for now, though, let's go ahead and slap the heads back on there, shall we? All right. Straight. Bam. All right. Let's see. All I'm really doing, man, I'm just trying to get as much grease and grime out of this thing. You know, ARP is very specific. They do say do not install these with any kind of grime on the underside of it, which is these little grooves right there. So I'm trying to get as much as I can out of it. I wet this thing, so I think that's pretty good. All right, let's go and drop these in. Get down there, bud. All right. No. The APR tightening sequence right here, and we're gonna go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Alright, so we're gonna go for the first pass on both heads. 40 pounds. Oh, right there. That's 40. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we'll go ahead and repeat on this side. Stay out the way. Give myself some room here. Perfect. Again, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 2. 9. 10. All right. Stage 1 done. Kick it up a notch. 40, 80, and 125 are 3 stages. And like I said, like if you use the regular TTY bolts, the torque stages are a little less. The first 2, if I'm not mistaken, and then obviously the third one is a degree torque. It's like 90 degrees. Very popular. I don't know why. Very popular with that garbage. But okay, whatever. All our I made sure I clean it. I cleaned all the matting surfaces when it comes down to the washers. You know, you got to put the lube on the nut and whatnot. So, as per APR, there is a spec sequence that you use when you're using the regular bolts for this car or for these heads, which are the torque to yield bolts by Ford. There's a sequence. You have 2 tightening stages and then the degree stage. Because we have APR studs, we have a tightening sequence of the first stage of 40 foot-pounds, second stage of 80 foot-pounds, and the third and final at 125 foot-pounds. And that's it. There is no degrees, no nothing. That's why I really like the APR stuff, man, because we're not dealing with a bolt that's going to probably break off if you over-torque it. So I think if you guys are going to go the route of doing this kind of work, APR is the way to go. So let's go ahead and finish this bad boy off. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. There's our last torque. And like I said, the APR studs claims 3 stages, 40, 80, and 125 foot-pounds, guys. So, got my thing set up, and this is the last one. Two. 3. 4.
To end this video.
And to end the video, guys, you know, you guys saw we changed out everything here to our oil pump. We changed out to the boundary stuff. And, you know, like, this is a brand new, you guys saw this, out of the box, brand new. Alright? So it is said that if you drop this on the ground, it will shatter. They should shatter. That's how shitty they are. So that was like, they were saying it dropped. So,
and I got camera.
here, he has the camera. So, not this one.
Not this one, but
this one came back, but
yeah.
that was to show you guys.
Look at it.
Here we go.
One time.
One time, and look at this. Look at that. Magical dust. Look at that. Look at all that glitter. That was point of impact right there. But
And it's brand new?
It's brand new, guys. It's a brand new pump. You know? So
Hey, I'm having the camera.
and you know, Mano Negra's got the camera, so
Just one
I
hand.
mean, he just with one hand. Here's the other piece. And this right here is what happens inside your Coyote. I've seen these also break, but you can obviously tell exactly where it broke. Look at that. All the little, it's exactly where that's where all your weak points. Look at that.
You hear that RPM?
Right there. When you hit that that high speed, bro, you're eating it. Or your car's eating it. Look exactly where it broke. Right where it thins out. Magical dust. Well, there you have it, folks. Truth be told, I was just gonna let it go down on its own will and power, but yeah, I mean, this thing just, you know, turned into almost soup. Well, guys, point proven. Now, go ahead and change those oil gear pumps. Good night.